Hello and thank you for joining us for game number 4. Immortals Academy are taking on 100 Thieves Academy. My name is Patreon. I will be joining Crumbs to close out today of Academy. Week 8, Crumbs. We are so close to playoffs now.
That's right. We are so close to the best of series, which is exactly where all the marbles are played for. But unfortunately, one of the teams today in this match is having a hard time getting to that phase. IMT on a 5-game losing streak. They still have a record that can get them into playoffs, but hitting that 7 mark will really go a long ways. But 100 Thieves is 2-0 despite having a new jungler come in.
Yeah, new jungler's pretty good as it turns out. Kenvi has 2 games so far this split. 100% win rate, Graves and Kindred only. Super talented, aggressive jungler. We've heard this story before for a lot of different players, but Kenvi appears to be living up to the hype, at least for now. So we'll see if IMTA Academy can indeed turn the ship around. Crumbs, their record was very good for a long time, and that slide, as you mentioned, has really hampered their ability to make playoffs, but they're certainly not out of the race just yet. They'll have to take on a pretty red-hot 100 Thieves here in this game.
They were 6-3 at what point? I think that almost sounds better than saying 5-game lose streak. Well, it was 6-3 before, so you took a big beating lately. But the team still has shown that the players, when they're feeling it, can go for some really clutch moments.
Yeah,
clutch factor.
They certainly do. I mean, this is a team that has like lots of experienced players on it, right? The players themselves make sense as far as like ability to play at the level the team was before. Kind of the LCS and Academy teams got switched around, but it's been tough to find consistency. I think some of that has to be like changing scenery, you know, for this team, but they certainly have the ability to do so. So we'll see how they operate up against the Thieves here. Bans are almost done here in phase 1. We've got Karma, Olaf, Galio, and Ezreal. But as we've seen today, we are on 10-15, which has come with a couple of, I don't want to say surprises, but it is cool to see players already donning some of those buff champions from this patch.
What's caught you off guard thus far?
Off guard? I don't think anything, because a lot of it was like champions we've seen a lot before. I guess I'm surprised that we haven't seen more of like Gragas and Aurelia, I think a champion that can fit into a lot of comps as well. So I'm just excited to see a little bit more diversity. Curious definitely to see if junglers want to take up Gragas at all, because quite a number of the players in Academy once upon a time had to play Gragas a lot because he was one of the best junglers in the game. So maybe Potluck will pick it up, maybe not. We'll see what happens here. Kalista Sona, though, banned out for our last 2, so Soaz will have the honor of first pick.
I think it might take some time for players to pick up the Gragas again, because he is really strong, but he's kind of like a Lee Sin in that you do need to put some games in him before you just pick him back up. He's not a bicycle. You have to get the flash combos down, the jungle routes ready to go, the damage threshold that you can deal, because when you're building him AP, you really need to know just how much damage you're going to be able to pump out. So I think maybe next week we get to see a little bit more Gragas, but I like that we at least got to see it from Winston today with some decent success despite not winning the game.
Yeah, I liked it. Also, like what got buffed was the build that was already a bit more exciting, right? No Cinderhawk buffs for Gragas. It was the AP ratios going up, which was becoming the standard on Gragas for anyway, so it's nice to see that playstyle get some love. Set, though, is everywhere today, as I heard you mention earlier on the broadcast, but Ashe has also been very prevalent. However, Twisted Fate, despite the nerfs, is sticking around, but Jhin is the difference one here. We have seen this already in Academy. Wind has been piloting this one alongside Caitlyn. That also got buffed this patch, but Jhin did not receive any recent touches that I can recall, but it does seem to be a champion that people are putting back into the meta now that Varus has dropped out, and Ezreal and Ashe are just everywhere.
They love the utility that he brings with the Deadly Flourish, or being able to even engage or follow up in a fight later on. So people are so worried about how does a marksman become useful in a team fight. Well, guess what? He's never in range. He's so far back, he's being able to CC targets or even execute them without putting himself in harm's way. So there is something to be said about his long range ability against a lot of champions that have a hard time closing the gap. So the Jhin, I think, can see a lot of value there, but timing that Deadly Flourish with CC is harder than it seems, because when you start to count in Merc Treads, flashes, and low cooldown CCs, the Jhin player has to be truly exceptional to nail all of those.
Yeah, we'll see if it works out. But I mean, with how popular Ashe is, I'm not surprised to see Jhin back in the meta. Again, like, Ashe does perfectly good damage as like a DPS champion, but she's not like massively overloaded in late game damage for a carry, but neither is Jhin. He's just providing a lot of utility. He's a decent laner. Ashe is a great laner, which is I think the reason she's picked so often. But she's really there for a lot of utility, and she just happens to do, you know, enough damage to be a respectable marksman for the team when you need it. So it is nice again to see some champions that weren't changed make their way back into lineups. But Gangplank and Wukong, excuse me, alongside Thresh are 3 of the 4 of our bans here in Phase 2. So we're almost ready to finish off this draft, Crumbs.
Now, what do those 2 bans mean? Banning out top laners right now, because those aren't necessarily matchups that the set would care about facing. So to me, this is Kenvi playing the set. This is setting up FLICKR to have the best matchup possible, even banning another top lane pick from Immortals. They might be even thinking, hey, we want to take an Ornn still available. Not sure if FLICKR will go that direction, as he tends to favor carries a little bit more. But I am pretty confident that Kenvi might deviate from the Graves and Kindred to go with one of the most popular meta junglers right now. No, what?
I mean, support set as well, right? This is one of the reasons set is so good.
What?
You can play him just about anywhere. So that is Trundle, presumably for the jungler here for 100 Thieves, but still a lot of ambiguity in the first stage, already still in this draft. So we'll see at IMTA want to finish off their comp with, because you have to assume it's volley jungle. I think that's been the most popular, although I guess we've seen some top recently as well. So we'll see, Crumbs. We'll see what IMTA Academy have as a response here.
I really want to see, because I thought that with Kenvi coming in, they were going to put a strong priority on carry junglers. It's sort of the same direction that the LCS main roster is going, with playing a lot of heavy early game and at least skirmishy type champions, not a lot of scaling, and making sure that you can just fight as much as you can early. Set really fit that MO, but the Trundle pick here is just trying to be an answer to the Volibear later into the game. Good for kiting with the Orianna and the Ashe. It really rounds out the composition quite nicely. It's just odd to see Kenvi, who, well, I mean, not odd. We just get to see another dimension of a player who we haven't really seen much of.
And look, he has played this. He has played this in Amateur, right? This is one of the champions he's pretty comfortable on. It's nice to see such an aggressive player, you know, be willing to play something a little bit more utility-like, a little bit more, I guess, passive. Maybe the wrong word, but like certainly more tanky, less about constantly counter jungling and dueling the enemy, unlike Graves and Kindred. So again, it's cool to see 100 Thieves stay flexible. It is top lane set though by the looks of things, so good read on that one there, Crumbs, as Pantheon support was the final pick there for Gate, which means that Tahm Kench is going alongside that Ashe. And we heard it from Diamond in the interview, Crumbs. Sometimes, you know, it's, yes, yeah. He certainly was. Whether those feelings are genuine or not is not up to me to judge. You can all do that for yourselves at home. But I think he was saying that, you know what, the meta does seem to be trending more towards playing the Frogman once again.
Well, the Frogman has a very strong ultimate, so you can have a lot of fun with that one. And he has a surprisingly amount of tools under his kit that can either win you the laning phase, allow you to play really aggressive, or play weak side. So there's a lot of responsibility with the champion. He's just not as flashy as what a lot of the supports have been used to, when they can pilot the Bard and single-handedly win a team fight, or play Nautilus and then immediately delete the Ezreal from the backline. So it's just a regular phase in League of Legends meta.
Well, thankfully, Crumbs, if you do want that kind of gameplay, Gate's playing Pantheon support, so you can get that. The Jhin Pantheon are going to be a fairly aggressive 2v2 lane here. Have to think Ashe and Tahm Kench are extremely solid, very safe, good defensive 2v2 lane that are pretty self-sufficient, so I don't expect any fireworks, at least 2 versus 2, but you never know. Gate is certainly going to be very active, and I assume he's taking Ignite as well. So maybe Gate will give you the support play that everyone is looking for.
Yeah, they can definitely both do it, because the way that the lanes could start, depending on if they leash or not, the Ashe and Tahm Kench can take control of the lane first, volley into tongue, and no one's touching that minion wave anymore, so they've already set the tone for that. That's a lane you want to have be right there with you from the start versus leashing away. So because of how strong they could be leashing, then Pantheon and Jhin say, well, we can't leash, or else we're going to have to deal with this. Let us go to the lane. And so the junglers end up without a leash, and that's the story of how laners convince junglers to never leash in pro play.
Hey, yeah, just provide good, strong, sound tactical reasoning, Crumbs. It makes sense. On junglers, though, it is definitely exciting to see a different type of matchup here between the two. But I think on the Thieves side, we've talked a lot about Kenvi, and with good reason, and we'll put a pause on that conversation as we are going to build up a break, go to a break, sorry, to build up some delay for competitive integrity. So don't go too far. When we return, we'll have the game right from the get-go. Welcome back. It is time for our fourth game of the evening, as we are going to get ourselves onto the Rift in short order. Before the break, Crumbs, I was posing the question of looking at these junglers, but wanting to actually look on the Thieves side at Soligo. We've talked again at length about Kenvi and how good he's been, but we did notice almost a change in Soligo, and it is something we have seen before, like a player that, you know, was in Academy, went to the LCS probably before he was really ready to compete at that kind of level, did okay, but certainly not spectacularly, and then came back down to Academy and felt like, okay, I really have to prove myself, and started playing extremely aggressive, and I think he has become a very well-rounded player, and even on the likes of the Orianna and the Azir that Orianna, which he's piloting in this game, he's shown that he does have, you know, that killer instinct still and the ability to be aggressive when the situation calls for it. So I'm excited to see how he continues to play, because he's been the other change in the Thieves, if you will, even though it hasn't been a personnel change.
I think, I'm going to try to put myself in Soligo's shoes, right? You go into the LCS, don't have such a great showing, but still you're in the 100 Thieves Academy. Now you swapped junglers 3 times, right? You had Contracts, you had Meteos, you've got Kenvi now. This year, you've tried to work with all these junglers and try to fit yourself into their equation, whether it's playing early, trying to scale up, whatever it is, you're trying to play it slow. You have your meta champions. But now you've also seen a ton of Academy players go into the LCS. And like, what are these guys doing that I'm not doing? Right? You're seeing a lot of players from your own roster go to the LCS. And like, wait a minute, okay, is there a chance for me? Like, what do I have to do personally to get him? And then you see like maybe Ryoma's struggling a little bit. Could there be an opportunity there if I get to really show off? So I think Soligo is just sensing that if he can continue to just wow people with his play, especially when there's less certainty around what the jungle role is going to do, he can transfer some of that. Who is 100 Thieves Academy? Oh, it's Soligo. Now you're thinking, okay, how do we get any player from Academy into the LCS? What team should we look at? 100 Thieves, Soligo. And if his name keeps coming up, well, you know he'll be moving up into the LCS soon.
Absolutely. I think if anything, this season of League in North America in the LCS and Academy has shown us that there are significantly more players that are at least capable of playing in the LCS than there are number of available slots on LCS rosters, which is a super exciting thing to see, right? This is probably the most movement I feel like we've ever seen between the leagues. Teams, I think, are starting to use their academy teams more and kind of reach into their benches and make changes when they feel like they need things to be a bit different and to shake things up. And at this point, the talent that has been here playing for multiple splits for years in some cases is starting to get to the point where, like, yeah, turns out when you play full-time as your job, you get pretty good at it.
You rise up to the challenge is what these guys end up doing. So they just want the opportunity to get challenged in that way. And, well, they're going to start by taking off Immortals' red buff, which is a pretty good start. I love when teams actually invade right away because Immortals doesn't have any vision themselves of what the 100 Thieves start is. They didn't actually get to see anybody who enter through the ramp. They only see that Ashen Tamkench walked out of the try. There could be an opportunity for a level 2 cheese, though.
Yeah.
Like it.
Okay. He definitely would consider it, but I think Gate and Altec were like, yeah, I don't want this to happen to us. Because they, 99.9% sure that Kenvi did indeed start on the red. So Kenvi's just going to take the red and walk back out. But you were talking about how, convincing your jungle that you don't need a leash and play. That was like the advanced variation of getting your laners to leash you again, right? It's like, no. If we invade the enemy jungle, it's a really good thing. So come help me on this buff. And like, you just tricked him into leashing a different buff.
Yes, that's totally it, right? To say, okay, if you're not going to leash for me on my side, what can I say to get you to leash somewhere else? Like, hey, come on, let's set him behind, right? I could totally 3-buff him here. He's not going to... He actually will get to 3-buff.
Oh, goodness.
So
how did this happen?
It does pay off. Because Immortals didn't ward. They didn't do anything for the level 1, so they had no idea.
I mean, surely when... Anyway. I mean, I feel like Prismal and Breezy may have given you at least info enough to check it, but regardless, very successful start for 100 Thieves opening this game with the 3-buff, as you mentioned, so Kenvi will be very happy. Again, we talk about him not being as aggressive, and then he goes and instantly invades at level 1. So it turns out you might change the champion, but you cannot change the player, as FakeGod looking good here in the 1v1 early on. We'll see how the Mordekaiser holds up. Seen a smattering of Mord in North America, but I never feel like I've seen the matchup where I'm like, this is where Mordekaiser is amazing. I just feel like he's farming and everything's fine. That's the Mordekaiser story in top lane.
It's rare to see nowadays a Mordekaiser that goes off and like, whoa, this guy's Mordekaiser is just insane. You can't let him have it. Like, not really. Seems like the Mordekaisers usually struggle in laning phase and then maybe find good ultimate. So the Mords could be a little bit stronger, I think. And, well, he's just such a safe magic damage top laner right now that people are okay with running him and just not doing much, just knowing that when the team fights come, either you're getting people to buy QSS or you could just ult the jungler and get a free kill.
Yeah, Iker's starting to eat a lot of harass here, though. This was Soligo's counter pick. That's not a particularly, hard counter pick in Twisted Fate, but it is nice to see players adjusting to Twisted Fate's prevalence in the metagame and just being willing to play a little bit more aggressive. That being said, Iker does have the spellbook. He's actually gone double mobility summoners, I believe. I think those are his real summoners right now, which is cool to see. TF used to take Ghost for a long time, actually, in the world of League of Legends, and it did get buffed a couple of patches ago. So tons of mobility for a champion that is basically all about your movement around the map. Obviously, he can swap to TP and other spells when he needs to, but is basically going for maximum uptime on mobility.
Mobility is giant for Twisted Fate, and on top of things being giant for him, the cooldown reduction nerf on the W, I think actually is just a really powerful nerf that just hits straight in the gut for TF, because his itemization doesn't actually get any cooldown reduction early on either, so it's not going to be helping him out until much later into the game, which is why I think Soligo is fine taking this counter matchup. If he was using it before, it's only going to get better now. And we have our first fight, a 4v3.
Ooh, 3v3 around the jungle. It is a 4v3. I take it all back. Breezy going to have to get out of there. Kenvi also going to have to get out, but the blast code's there. Breezy is going to go down as Gate is able to grab first blood there with the Ignite Pantheon support, but Gate now, he is trapped well between two enemy towers, and he will be falling, but he's going to, you know, going to make him race for it. In fact, no one's going to chase him. Gate's just going to hang out and maybe try and get the execute. How long can he wait? He's going to wait as long as he can, and I think gets it. It is indeed. Breezy
did it.
Breezy almost there to catch the kill and get the trade. Very delayed, but it does not happen, and extremely successful first blood there for Gate.
They don't get the dragon, but they actually do so much damage when it comes to the summoner spells of 100 Thieves. This should free up Ica to do a lot. Let's see how that actually started, because it was Kenvi doing the dragon, and then Immortals just collapses real quick there. TF having priority in the mid lane, he easily goes onto Tom Kench, and then this is just the comedy there where the Trundle flashes in thinking, wait a minute, I don't know if I should be here.
Where's my other champion?
Yeah.
Where's my aggressive range marksman that I had last week?
My melee range? What is this?
My champion isn't shooting anyone. Is it bugged? All right. Dive, though, potentially happening here. Potluck with a very nice timing. Back down here to the bottom side. Here comes Sister Fate as well. The TP also in, but it was cancelled by FLICKR, but that's not enough to save Prismal. He's dead, and Breezy is going to follow suit. Gate getting low. This time, he's going to be fine again, because that E is just so good for diving towers with Pantheon, and Aka is going to be the one to clean up the second.
Beautiful stuff. I love to see it out of TSM last game, and then this one's same kind of play. You see two members down there, you know you can outnumber the opposition for the move, and they go for it. It was actually good that Fake got canceled that TP, because Soaz would probably not have even gotten an assist down there. So good, it backfires, because not every time you actually want to cancel those out. It would have been a much better play for him to let Mordekaiser go and then just farm away plates in the top side. But those are the things you are almost never able to anticipate, so you just err on the side of caution and cancel the TP when you can.
Yep, certainly a tough read to make. Don't fault FLICKR at all for wanting to cancel it there, but all in all, we often judge Twisted Fates by the effectiveness of their first ultimate. That one was super effective. And speaking of, here's the follow-up in bottom lane. Jin W, there's the Deadly Flourish. Is Breezy going to get locked up and his ankles tied up as he tries to run towards the tower, but it's all too late as Gate's going to get yet another kill.
They are relentless in this bottom lane, and we thought that playing the Frog was going to be safe. They are out hunting down here, and Ash needs to leave the lane now too. She's going to just harass Volibear here, not wanting to give him a chance to go for the dragon. Actually, he's just running him out of the jungle entirely. Knows that Twisted Fate does not have the ultimate to chase, but also aware that Kenvi is getting something done on the other side of the map. So it's not like 100 Thieves is sleeping here. They're always looking for something to do, and it looks like it's going to be to zone out Zoas and maybe try to get some plates up here.
Yeah, quick Herald already for Kenvi, at least responding to the pressure that IMTA are showing bot, so could drop the Shelly and try and get some plates over. Of course, this means Potluck will get the Drake in the extended plate. Prisma will get the information, but there's nothing he can really do about it, so will not stop the take. Just being a trade of objectives at the end of it all, and Kenvi not going for it yet. Probably tricky, to say the least, to type a Mordekaiser with ulti, so I think they had their space to maybe try and get the plates, but looks like Kenvi has other plans for this Rift Herald.
Too much heat on him. Not only the Mordekaiser that can ult him and get him away from Set, which is the main damage dealer, but also Twisted Fate started roaming, Pantheon was Mia. FakeR's going to try here. I think Soas is fine, though.
Yep. Gets him with the old Dunkaroony, forces the flash with the Haymaker. Very well played by FLICKR in the 1v1.
Okay, that could be really useful for a return play here. Kenvi still has the Herald. He might be thinking about popping it in topside now after this grab, since Soas does not have a teleport to get back to lane.
Yeah, this seems like a pretty good timing. Going to take this crab here as well. Kenvi can go up ahead and drop the crab. It's going to be close as well. I think the Hero of Tide will now finish off the tower at this rate, so Kenvi going to walk up, drop it, and he can just walk away. In fact, he instantly channels TP back home. So FLICKR going to get a ton of gold off of this exchange, as Kenvi very generously donates the Rift Herald to the top lane outer tower, and that is the first tower gold over to 100 Thieves.
That's the work they were doing when the bottom lane was being assaulted. So Prismal and Breezy can feel like their job is done, but it doesn't stop here as Soligo is getting ganked.
Yeah, he's dead.
Doesn't have cleanse.
Yeah, it doesn't have cleanse. Did have flash, but can't get out of that CC chain as TF just lines up the gold card and shuts it all down. Soligo tried to get out with the shockwave, but was unsuccessful, as IMTA has been very active in the first 11 minutes of this game. Really impressive showing so far from the Twisted Fate. Already has a Rod of Ages ticking up nice and early. Kenvi is going to spot Potluck here. He doesn't have ulti of note since he used it in mid to get a kill. But Kenvi just going to go ahead and donate this blue buff over by the looks of things. No, it might even take it. Back walking away.
You feel so bad. That is a classic move of coming straight into playing with a team versus playing from solo. Because you're playing solo, you're like, I'm just going to do this right now, dude. You are dead. I'm not going to leash this for you. And then you're whacking away at it. You're like one hit from killing it. And then the mid lane is like, I need blue buff. Can I have that? Can I have that? You're in pro play, though, so you say, all right. Okay, you're a mid laner. I'll let you have this one. But next time, I need you to come in with me to invade the enemy jungler. And that's how the jungler gets his revenge. Next time you see 100 Thieves, 4-man invade for level 1, and they can feel like mid laner leashed.
All right, well, Kenvi walking back into the enemy jungle despite not having his mid laner. But going to take out this control ward. More than able to dual gate, who's actually been out of lane quite a lot. Altek's actually level 7 as a result. I imagine he's probably ahead of Prismal in XP, just based on the support levels. But Gate definitely been roaming around trying to make sure that vision is cleared out, that they've got control of all these different areas. As I say that, though, Gate already goes ahead and dings 6, so wasn't too far behind at the end of it all.
And the gold is pretty much dead even here, which is only more thrilling here. Celeste does not have flash, but TPs are here.
It's here. Yeah, Fake God Haymaker, very nicely timed, but here comes Soligo, ready with a shockwave, lines it up. Nope, can't grab it. IMTA had flash, and so as a little too far away to clip with the wave.
Just there to back his bro up on whatever play they want to go for, whether he's crashing the wave or taking a duel with your friendly Mordekaiser. I don't think Mordekaiser's very friendly, but I'm sure he's got metal friends that think otherwise. Now a minute onto the dragon and no Twisted Fate ultimate. This is looking like 100 Thieves favored setup.
Yeah, we'll see how active both Soligo and IMTA can be in getting to this objective. Soligo did have to teleport to that top lane. Obviously a much longer cooldown than Twisted Fate's ulti, even at level 1. But looks like Prismal and Breezy sticking around here, knowing that they have to maintain control of the objective. Altek trying to get out of there will get cancelled by a pillar, though. There's some Jin traps that are also getting cleared out. So I think 100 Thieves know they have to stay to try and contest for this Drake, but they are going to keep pressure out on the map as a result. Red buff goes to Potluck, though, as Kenvi does get that control ward down kind of in the entrance towards the jungle.
If they have to stay, they can also keep Immortals here. So they're not going to have a battle of completed items versus completed items. They're just going to go with the scraps. And that could be an advantageous position for 100 Thieves, who has the first move here into the river. They're not going to find anything, but they can defend the vision, which is going to be pretty significant since the teams haven't based those control wards a lot.
Oh, so close. Just missing Altek there. Pillar as well for Kenvi. Might have been arranged to set up the arrow there, but not sure if he had the cooldown available. Kenvi, though, going to face check Potluck, and Potluck's just going to go straight forward. Deadly Flourish down. Soligo's here, though. Now Kenvi going to get sped up into the enemy jungle, and he's just popped the ult. He's ready to go. The shockwave did go up, but Potluck jumps over with the Stormbringer. Gator over the top. He's trying to make the play. He's so tanky with the E up there, as Soaz is going to flash in, but now Fake God, he's down here and trying to turn the tides of the fight as IMTA. He's going to get the gold card lined up. The Jin ulti, though, he's going to find the snipes. Block for your friends, everybody, as they will survive the onslaught, but Breezy not so lucky as Gate gets yet another kill.
That Mordekaiser ultimate came in so clutch at the end, and they are just picking on Tahm Kench this whole time. Now, the fight started with Potluck chilling in the brush, looking for Kenvi, and then Kenvi thought, well, I got to turn on him. I've got Soligo behind me. I can definitely take him out with my ultimate. It's what I picked the Trundle into Volibear for, but Volibear just ults right away, and that exposes the rest of the team. to the Pantheon Flash, to the Mordekaiser coming in with the ultimate and the teleport. So Immortals just gets engaged on their hardest to kill target and ends up winning the fight and claiming a dragon.
Yep, only needed the 1 kill, and it is the second Drake for Immortals, as you mentioned. So starting the Soul Snowball pretty early here. We'll have another one up in 4.5 minutes, so just under the 20-minute mark. The Cloud Dragon of our Cloud Rift will spawn. Sligo, though, got his Ludens. Oh, he's Twisted Fate. That seems like trouble. Jin ulti. Oh, hello, Pantheon. A second global, and Altek's just going to get the kill. Potluck was coming in just in case.
I was like, okay, he has no mana. He could get away. Oh, there's another one. Wait a minute here. It's everybody. It's everybody but Mordekaiser. So it is all about the Rift Herald play. And if 100 Thieves doesn't have a position for an answer here, it's going to be a big win for IMT. So they're definitely keeping mid alive. Maybe bottom lane could be an opportunity. Gate can always just eat out of this, but they're going to try to dive.
Oh, good pillar. They're actually going for the dive. I love this aggression from 100 Thieves. Gate is so tanky with the E-up, man, but finally gets shut down by Prisoner, who's going to get some sweet revenge.
It's a great idea that 100 Thieves was looking for something, knowing that Immortals was likely to spend resources on the Rift Herald and that there wasn't going to be a response.
Alright, Prison's fine.
Yeah, just a kill.
There's
a shutdown.
Yeah, I mean, a good bit of gold over, significant damage done to the mid outer tower, which is always nice. They don't get the second Herald, though. That did go over to IMT as Potluck finished it off in the extension of all that play. But Soaz potentially under fire here, but we know that 3 people are recalling around him, so he's going to be just fine. And we'll see how durable Saligo can be here in this side lane. Is committing to at least farming this for now. I think is handing over the dual lane farm in mid, which is risky. Yeah, you can see him checking all the brushes with the, with the Orianna ball. He's like, he doesn't want what happened to happen again.
He's gonna check every brush with an Orianna ball from now on. There could be a Pantheon anywhere.
That's true. Oh, they can see him now, so the gate, unfortunately, they know now is mid. But TF-Ult's cooling down pretty quickly here. Ake will have that back up and available. Is moving towards Lichman, even has the Swifties, just to emphasize the mobility aspect of the champion.
That's why Magi's tends to be pretty popular on Twisted Fate when they're feeling it, when they're having a great game, getting that Dark Seal. Hitting those 10 stacks, switching into a Magi's can just get you zooming away. And against champions like Ashe or Rihanna, that's really about her W, as well as the Trundle Pillar. The Swifties get a ton of value here. And you got 3 players that are all aboard the Swiftie train now. You could argue that their itemizations typically tend to be that, but they're getting a ton of value from it this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you mention Magi's because, you know, you say stuff like, oh, Twisted Fate's pretty good Magi's champion, which I agree with, but then I also saw Jungle Carters for the Magi's today as well. So, you know what? I think people are just really enjoying buying that item lately. There's something about the book that has drawn so many players in recent weeks. As ulti from Prismal's going to hit. Oh. It's a real shame there's no follow-up. Altek at least going to have to use the heal because Fake God was coming in for the spin. Altek gets away.
Have flashed and maybe ulted that onto Jin? I'm not sure what angle Fake God came in, but it was close. Definitely very close.
Not enough for him, unfortunately, as the top lane outer tower is going to fall over to Immortals, finally equalizing the first one that they got with the Herald in top. Red buff over to Altek as well, so it's just helping out. Gonna go ahead and help leash that one.
Okay, now 50 seconds on the dragon. Big dragon fight. 45 seconds left, and the big thing that I'm looking at is that the glaive got completed from the Pantheon, which is going to be a huge help for the Vision, and also you've got the Infinity Edge and almost 10 Roas on Twisted Fate. So Immortal is feeling really confident with this fight, despite 100 Thieves having their itemizations completed. Yeah, because you do have the pressure of the double globals to engage whenever you want. So 100 Thieves needs to stay super clumped, which gives a big opportunity for Twisted Fate's Vision to tell you where they're at, and then you engage and pick people off.
Yeah, they've certainly got the CC, though, to start a scuffle to 100 Thieves. They've got Oriol ready with Ludens +2 Magic Pen items. We've got Fake God constantly looking for angles. We're going to have a TP in as well here from Soaz. And Riptide's going to be dropped mid, so the race is on, Crumbs. The mid outer tower for the Dragon is the trade the 100 Thieves are attempting to make here.
Cleaver can steal.
Yeah, oh, not this time. Ulti as well, that's a very good target to hit. See you later. Oh god, he's so tanky with the E up, I keep forgetting. Fake God though, gonna rush into the team fight. The Haymaker's fully charged up, but it will not connect. It's Kenvi instead that gets slain by Soaz, and despite 3 people on Immortals being abysmally low on health, Thieves cannot finish anybody off. They're gonna be lucky to get Soaz at this point, because he's gonna have to flash away, but he's still not dead. Fake God forced to follow flash. Soaz still looking to turn it back around, but he finally dies to the top laner of 100 Thieves, and Ake is just busy splitting the whole time in mid as Prismal gonna get jumped on by Potluck. What a shockwave do for Saligo as 100 Thieves find the pick and gate. He's just in there. See you later to the tongue latch as Breezy gonna finally get his own Zaportal combat kill.
What a messy fight there, and at the very end, I loved seeing Gate. I don't know how much HP he had. I think he'd even base. He just jumped in there hoping to get another instance of that shield up, but he just gets blown right away. And big hero from that fight was Soaz, taking out Kenvi right away. The Pantheon survives for so long, and even though he's so far displaced into the enemy team because he was so healthy, got that kill, everybody was forced to commit to try to take him out, and he even got a little bit of extra sums on there. So let's see how this all played out, because the arrow hits Gate, he doesn't shield just yet, and then you've got Set that's going to take him straight into the team. Kenvi's practically dead at this point. Fake God cannot land a Haymaker. Everybody flashes out away from it.
I'm shocked that Fake God could not find a stun with that E. But then the chase here for Soaz just lost so long. Good catch, by the way, from Breezy to save his mid laner. But Soaz just like, well, somebody's going down with me, hopefully. Unfortunately, not the case, but it was close.
The Ashe is just so deadly in that position. And then watch this, because this is the part that cracked me up. The Ashe flashes away, but then the aggro of the wolves, the final wolf auto attack takes him out. Left to die to the animals.
Yep. The spirit of Dyrus is strong in those wolves. Taking out Prismal.
They don't forget.
No, they not even after a decade. They do not forget. Ooh, Blade of the Rune King popped. I don't think Soaz can win this 1v1. Maybe I'm wrong. Fake God though just going to keep punching. Good dodge on the Q there as well. Got the Haymaker charged up, and I think I was right. We're going to have to go back on that one because the TP's coming in. Ake is looking to slap down Prismal with a gold card. Fake God though has taken out Soaz. Shockwave finds 2 onto Saligo. Needs to kill Altek, but hasn't got it yet as he's still cutting around. But finally, he'll get the pick up. 100 Thieves lose no one and claim 3 crumbs.
Wow, and they're going to get an objective out of this one. That's going to be Baron. They're porting in their second TP here. That's a huge win. That's a game-winning play out of them because Immortals doesn't have anybody to respond. Potluck's not going for a steal. Just like that, without any objectives to fight for, the fight that most likely decides this game just happened out of thin air.
And honestly, the credit to Fake God for having pressure there. 100 Thieves, I think they've been willing to scrap like all game long, and in general, actually, both these teams have been done a good job of maintaining aggression, which we always like to see. But 100 Thieves just been waiting for the right time. Fake God had the split pressure. It felt like they knew they had good team fight. They just had to find, you know, a good team fight. And finally, they're finally to get to Baron. They're up a little over 2,000 gold, looking to knock down some towers and grow that gold lead even further.
We didn't get to see exactly both fights because we got to see how one started and how the other one ended. So we're trying to piece together what went down. So we just know Fake God had higher itemization with Blade and Cleaver completed versus Soaz, who had the Andrews and components. And he also dodged a few nice Qs from Mordekaiser. So he had some good moves that helped him out. And what we saw on the tail end of the other fight was the Tahm Kench really saved Prismal. They committed a lot to him, the flash on Twisted Fate, but because he lived and got over the wall, all that was for naught.
I mean, Set is just such a good champion. Have we seen Set in 5 roles in North America this year? It feels like it, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we
farming bot lane with Senna, right? Is it the other one?
Yeah, that's the last version, the Exodia of Set, where all 5 pieces are Set.
Well, I mean, it's cool to see, you know, Volley and Set, actually, who champions that were kind of perma top lane picks back in top lane, as Gate is getting the next coming of top lane Set there, as Fake God's going to outpunch the Pantheon any day of the week at this stage. 6 levels up there on the support Pantheon. Not all that surprising, given that Fake God is having a pretty good game, but Looking to take over here is 100 Thieves, going to equalize the Drake series. They take the second cloud off the board. Pretty terrifying, honestly, to have Trundle and Set with the, potential Cloud Soul running at you.
Oh, it's so brutal. And then champions like Orianna and Ashe also get a ton from those. The movement speed, the ult movement speed, just everything in general for them is so difficult for these melee champions to get on them. The only range is Twisted Fate and Jhin. Everybody else has to put themselves in harm's way, and clearly they're no longer tanky enough to do that for a sustained amount of time. The Orianna and Ashe will just mow them down.
All right, well, it's only 35 seconds left on this Baron buff here. 100 Thieves have gotten a couple towers, but and a very decently sized Baron power play, but IMTA have done a good job of controlling the majority of the damage. The Baron's going to fade away. 100 Thieves are going to be up about 3k at the end of it all. And Saligo's got a brand new hat to wear to the next team fight.
Oh, that is snazzy. That just dropped right there. Doran's just dropped it, made a tweet about it. He lined up for it. He waited.
Yeah, exactly. Limited time gift offer. There's only so many. You got to wait 5 days outside the store. But it's looking good. Saligo almost level 16 as well. We talked so much in this early game about how Aker's Twisted Fate was basically dictating how this game was playing, and now it just feels like Immortals can't find as many opportunities as they once had.
Yeah, I wonder what it was that they stopped looking for these outnumbers, because when they found Soligo in the side lane top side where it was so easy to kill him, I thought they were going to continue to repeat that game plan, because they didn't need to send 4 members to kill him. 2 to 3 would have definitely done the job depending on who you send alongside Twisted Fate. So I think they slowed down too much, or weren't thinking about specific targets that were the easiest to kill, because oftentimes when you have these playmaking tools, it's not like they work against every single champion. You have to look for the specific itemizations that help out, whether somebody is building tanky or is building damage first. That's usually a good sign of somebody that you can go after, and they really didn't do that. So it's what improves Twisted Fate gameplay to the next level, is knowing, okay, yes, I have to go for a port, but who are the people that I can actually kill when I port after, and who do I need to help me out? So once you just brainstorm all those things, that every time your ultimate is up, it's a lot easier to set your lane assignment and then execute on it.
Yeah, let me tell you, it's not that guy you just saw on your screen. Fake God, almost at Death's Dance now. It's just kind of like the sacred trinity of bruiser items these days. Blade of the Ruin King, Black Cleaver, Death's Dance. Just, you kill everyone and you can't be killed. It's pretty good, as it turns out.
I like both those things.
Yes.
In a League of Legends game.
Yes, those are very positive. As TP from Twisted Fate, the Soup Highway is riding up to the top lane. Hawkshot's going to follow the action there, as we'll follow Aker. Ooh, that was close. That Ghost saving his life, but he's got no flash, by the way. Going to TP out though, so he's just fine. Definitely a scary moment when you don't have your flash on Spellbook, especially with something like Exhaust, because you need an enemy champion nearby to use it. And if there's an enemy champion nearby with you when you don't have flash, I think being able to use your Exhaust is not the thing you're thinking about.
Oh, they're thinking about a fight.
Yeah, can be getting jumped on here. Stormbringer pop there by Potluck. And Fake God, oh goodness, the dunk is incoming. He's looking for the carries. Not going to find them just yet, but he's got the flash to follow if he wants to. But Fake God, he's just chasing down Solas. This just feels so unfun. Fake God will not be stopped. He's slapping and punching and kicking everybody who's trying to fight the set. But Fake God will slay once again as 100 Thieves pick one up.
Oh, and he's just going to regen back up. They can all line up here. You'd even have Tom Kench at the front. This Jhin ultimate does nothing. Yes, Immortals do get a tier 2 out of that one, but the team fight win for 100 Thieves just shows that they still have a lot of confidence in taking these fights, despite it being started by Immortals in the first place. So I think that 100 Thieves can take that turret loss and say, okay, you know what, this team is definitely still here. There's a Twisted Fate. We don't want to give up fights, because Immortals can definitely still claw back, but we're strong. We got a Fake God here that could definitely dish out a lot of damage.
Yeah, it feels like they just understand what their comp wants to do, and their confidence is riding high right now. Like, Baron is back up, right? So 5 minutes have passed since the last time we talked about the gold lead, and it's been the same. It's still 3,000 gold ahead for 100 Thieves, but the landscape the metaphorical landscape, not the literal landscape, has changed here as 100 Thieves just in full control of this map, looking to take this next dragon off of the rift in 20 seconds.
And they're looking at the map, noticing they don't have any vision here and that there is a scuttle available. They put their first few wards there. It's a good one. Control on the left side and then a nice little ward over so you can actually CC somebody on that side of the river. And instead, they are going to decide whether they should go for the dragon and simultaneously fend off any Baron threat. But when they see that Jhin is in the mid lane, they know that the team comp from Immortals has terrible Baron threat, so they're okay with just sending more members here.
Always have the Ashe intel as well to help you out. So 100 Thieves easily able to take that third cloud off of the rift. They've gotten the last 2 dragons, of course, all the rift dragons as well, as they're on track for the soul when the next one spawns. And now they're going to roam themselves over to Baron and see if they can't grab themselves yet another neutral objective, as I'm sure FLICKR is getting very close, dangerously close, let's call it, to finishing that Death Stance.
He's going to go Death Stance and then maybe even a Wit's End. Normally you'd see the Stone Plate there, but full auto attack blast Wit's End would be pretty cool to see, because definitely nobody can take him on that way. And well, he gets even more lifesteal when he drops low, which is exactly what you want on the champion. So they're going to go for the Baron right now. Gate can ultimate in. They see it happening.
Yeah, but this is actually going down fairly quickly. 100 Thieves trying to race this one down. Gate's here. Acre's here as well. They're looking for the flying potluck in there. Going to Stormbring it through, and he steals it. It's Acre. I wonder if he had a smite. They're, of course, going to lose the team fight. 3 drop already, make it 2, as my eyes do deceive me. But 100 Thieves will lose that Baron. So is the splitting bottom lane. This is kind of chaotic right now.
That was huge there out of Immortals. That buys so much time for them. They might even get a tier 2 here. Actually, yeah, Soas might be in trouble if he sticks around for it. Can Orianna Tahm Kench catch up to him? Depends. Oh, Tahm Kench can definitely do it. They're going to go for him.
Yeah, Soas delayed a little bit there by channeling the recall, but Breezy is going to chase it down. Saligo hot in the heels. Good tongue lash there for Breezy. Now just needs to keep going. Saligo now in range, and here's the delivery system. Shockwave does so much damage. But now Breezy's in the death realm, and Saligo is going to shut that down.
He's got a QSS as well to make sure he's not in there, and they're going to go for another one. Pantheon does not have flash. He's got his E up.
And he's alive still. Oh, he's dead. I take it all back. Maybe it's Altec that's dead. The old switcheroo there from 100 Thieves, as that Jhin is very scary. So forget everything I just said in the last 5 seconds of play. Altec's just fine. Well, let's watch this again. How did this get stolen?
Okay.
Oh, he does have smite.
Yep. Let's see the HP. Flashing in 300 at 11 health. It was down. Really nerve-wracking there. I cannot fault Kendi on that. You're dealing with 2 smites. To be able to pull that off is really special, because you don't also know where Twisted Fate is coming from.
Yeah, it's been so long. I believe you can see the outline of his ultimate, so you have an idea that he's back around Baron probably, but I mean, yeah, you said it. It's 2 smites versus 1. That's in a high-pressure Baron situation. That is tough for Kenvi. I don't blame him at all. I just think that's excellent play from Immortals to steal that Baron. That is one of those uses of Spellbook that seems so obvious, and yet every time it happens, I'm like, man, probably should have thought about that.
It's huge. That ability is tremendous.
Shockwave, see ya. Yeah, that's a rabbit on Death Cap 3-4 item Orianna. As Saligo finishes that one off nice and easy, thanks to a nice arrow alongside Prismal. I mean, Soas is trying to split push and create pressure for his team. This is just not the way to go about it. Going to get watered out, going to have the Death Realm. Can't put TK in there, we learned that already. Going to get popped out there as the QSS is dropped. And returns from the Shadow Realm only to die to the Tahm Kench that got out of there.
Hey, okay, now it's starting to make a little bit more sense. Aka is getting something in the top set, and he has that Lich Bane, so this is how Immortals wins this game. They are very clearly unable to team fight by no fault of their own. You need to be split pushing. So if they can actually continue to send a few members to other parts of the map to be juicy bait for 100 Thieves, Twisted Fate can actually get some more pressure on the map and just stun and get out. Why does he let him come so close?
Jin's here as well. It's 3v1 right now for FLICKR. Got the ulti. Ooh, doesn't quite clear the wall, but his teammates are pretty close by. Haymaker down, but he is going to fall. But can 100 Thieves find the trade kill? That's the question now, and Kenvi not in range for a pillar. Going to be close on the gate. Prismal, let the arrow fly. I'm sure you've got it. Not sending it just yet. Oh, it's just a feint that's coming in instead. There's the cleanse down. There's the stun, and Prismal looking for the 1v1, but he gets CC'd up. But here comes Gate. It's a 4v1, and Prismal just gets wiped off the rift by Immortals.
Finally, Immortals is coming online. They realize they need to play Guerrilla League of Legends here. It's not about team fighting. It's about making it dirty. It's about splitting 100 Thieves apart. And you already got two really important picks. It's going to get you even more objectives, and you get to take away the blue buff. So they are finally feeling confident in being able to win this. They have a gold lead now. They're actually going to put themselves at soul point as well. So this game is continuously up for grabs. And when the Twisted Fate is this darn strong, I tend to side with the Twisted Fate over the Orianna. There is a ton that this champion can do.
I mean, this will tell us a lot about, like, you know, kind of what can maybe the more experienced roster of IMT do to navigate a game that is tricky to win, but you certainly can if you're able to play the map correctly. And for 100 Thieves, it's, you know, how much can you do with a brand new player in the roster who's played only 2 games to navigate against what is a very frustrating strategy to play against a lot of the time. Like, you know, if 100 Thieves are kind of at the level where they can think about the map and the game well and execute on the opportunities they see, there's certainly, you know, a team that's come a long way since being together under the guidance of Coach Kelsey, you know, under this organization for so long. Because at this point, it feels like it's just about execution, not just what you do in the individual exchanges, but how you play the map. Like, this is tough macro to play, Crumbs.
Exactly. It is how you play the map. The items are there. Your champions and draft is already out the window. You're basically dead even. What can you do now? And Baron is going to be the most important objective right now. You have 1 minute on it, and we get to see where does Immortals push their resources. It looks like it's Aka in the bottom lane. Aka has to basically push this wave as quickly as possible. Now, he has to crash this in so that by the time the Baron is about to spawn, 100 Thieves is thinking about sending members back. They're already getting the set back to base. He will likely be the one defending this bot lane push. And then the TF can collapse into this fight in the mid lane. But thus far, they're giving a lot of respect to 100 Thieves.
Yeah, might have seen the set recall, or at least just suspecting someone is probably looking to answer. Aka has no vision at all deep into the 100 Thieves blue side jungle, so it does have to tread carefully when there are people missing off the map. Right now, they actually can't really see anyone.
Pops up to see it.
Yep, that's a nice ult actually there for Aka. Level 18, so of course, cooldown's pretty short, and he's going over. They're actually going to team fight this because FLICKR's not here. He's got TP though.
It's half HP.
Yeah, there's the TP again. 100 Thieves just forcing on the Baron. No double smite this time. But there's the ulti out of Jhin. Gonna get disrupted. Arrow is good. Finds the Jhin, but he QSS out. Now in the death realm is Kenvi. Soa's gonna try and isolate the 100 Thieves jungler. And Kenvi's fighting for his life, but he's not gonna win this 1v1. Soa's in there. He does get the kill, but he's gonna go down as a result. Now it's a 4v4, but IMT have the inside track on the mid lane here. 100 Thieves going back to Baron without a jungler.
Aka's ghosting into the bot lane. He's trying to go for inhibitors here. If Gate can stop these ports, this is huge for IMT. They're challenging TPs.
They're going to have to fight their way out of here, but IMT are doing a good job of keeping them boxed in. Prismal is going to be the next one on the chopping block as FLICKR has already been felled. Prismal can't fight out of that one at all. But Soligo is back here alongside Breezy. Gold card there for the Twisted Fate. Shockwave lining up again, Breezy getting ready, and there's the Zhonya's. They baited it out, but the Baron is going to go over to IMT, and Aka's going to flash out of there.
Wow, Immortals is really playing this one well. They waited out. They didn't want to go for a fight. They just wanted to make sure that they were playing the game on their terms. So as picking on the jungler, it's such a big thing for Mordekaiser. It doesn't matter what you do. We were talking about this earlier too. Mordekaiser just gets to ult the jungler and take him out. Kenvi now recognizes how important it is for him to live, gets a QSS so that doesn't happen again, but the damage is done. Baron, bot inhibitor. And when you lose a bot inhibitor against a Twisted Fate, that 5v5 idea you had is thrown out the window, because now Aka can do just an ultimate into the bottom side once he knows exactly where you're at, and end the game.
Yeah, made even harder by the fact that they have to fight for this Cloud Soul in a minute. The team that grabs it will be the only one to get it, as both teams are currently at 3 dragons. And to clarify, it's not that 100 Thieves wanted to go back to the Barons. They had nowhere to go. with IMT cutting off the mid lane. But now that's going to be the same story here for Gate. He will fall. That's a bad time to die.
You could say that again. That is a terrible time to die. Nobody there really with him, just going for a mission for Vision.
And red buff, which he did get.
He did get that, right? He now has a 35-second death timer on his head, so he's not going to be up for the dragon fight. But fear not, Immortals can still pressure the base with the Twisted Fate. They're just going to have to concede the mid push, which is nothing new, but now the fight becomes so much trickier because there's no threat of you actually committing to a 4v5.
Yeah, the full-on 4v131 right now for IMT. Prismal here going to try and catch off the jungler. Stormbringer for Potluck is popped. Ulti is going to hit the jungler. Potluck is going to have to flash away the Soligo's damage is nasty at this point. So is TP top lane, yeah.
Okay, Dragon is up, and watch Twisted Fate chilling in the control ward.
He ulted already. Oh, they're going mid. That's why they want to try and fight here. Destiny pop for Twisted Fate. Good off there hits Prismal. But
for the base?
Yeah, he is. Ike is just on top of Fake God, but gonna have to run out of there because Soligo's gonna chase him down as well. I think Ike is just dead. I think Soas is dead as well. Campy's got the QSS. He pops out of there. They get the shutdown. 2 from Immortals already dead, but they get the Cloud Soul. I guess it's worth it. We'll see what 100 Thieves can do now. Again,
it is really tough to say.
Long death time is 50 seconds now on Acre and Soas. 100 Thieves going to probably try and end the game here. 5v3.
Altic has to stay alive, and same thing with Potluck. The Baron is what will keep them from losing this game, because these death timers can be abused. The Orianna has enough mana to sustain this push.
Yeah, ulti's back as well for Ori, and Ashe has hers also, so they go for it there again. Outside going to be forced to QSS out, but 100 Thieves going to dive in. They know they can get the kills. Fake on with a very meaningful ulti, looking for the face breaker, but doesn't quite latch as the Breezy is going to flash in to exhaust it down, and IMT just cannot stop the 5v3, but they're still biding time for the Solar Lens to come back up. They will lose this mid inhibitor as the turret does fall. But how much more? 100 Thieves are going to go for the throat here, Crumbs.
Oh, they want it. Here
Gate
it goes.
Dead as well, but again, the E can buy so much time. No, I take it all back. He can't buy anything. Altek's still alive. The Soul Land is the backed up, but the Haymaker's out. They will get the kill. The Nexus is exposed, but IMT, they're fighting back out. Prismal, he's trying to hit the Nexus, but he's not going to get it. Soligo, he's trying the back door, but he doesn't grab it. And IMT get an ace in their base with their Nexus being killed by 100 Thieves.
They're ghosting in. They know they've won the game. Oh, wow. 100 Thieves pushes to try to win, and now Ica gets to be the sole person in the picture at the end of the game. His team's trying to rush in there. I thought Immortals just lost it with what they did with those TPs in that greedy play bottom lane, but they somehow win the defense and now take down 100 Thieves, stopping that 5-game losing streak and their 2-game win streak.
What a ridiculous ending to this game, but it is IMT that will take down 100 Thieves. We talked about it, Crumbs. Executing in these kind of comps in the situation we're in was going to be challenging, and it was so heartbreakingly close for 100 Thieves. But IMT, Soligo just couldn't peck at the Nexus, man. It's needed a couple more autos. The Lich Bane would have done it, but didn't have one of those.
Down to the wire, right? Really makes you think in hindsight, like, what could have been the play? Maybe would have been earlier in the dive in the mid lane because they had the QSS on Jhin. Should they have played around that better? There's so many different things they could have done. Or maybe just back off and try again. So at least they went for it. And that is what is positive for me, because 100 Thieves definitely recognize we can win here. The review is just going to say, how do we execute this better? Not how do we question this play.
Yeah, absolutely. A thrilling game there between the two sides, but we are going to be taking a break, and on the other side, we'll bring you what could end up being a playoff decider. It's FLICKR Academy versus Evil Geniuses Academy.